There's a lot of fish all over the place right now. They're spread out, a lot different than during the spawn. If you're in the right place at the right time, you can do what Ken and I are doing today, catching as many as we care to catch. It's been a lot of fun. They're chasing today. We're launching at 9 Mile today. This puts us a little closer to our target, which is the Detroit River. And what I do a lot of times, my method is to check out a lot of the outliers, a lot of the fringe areas to see how far the bass have gone or where they're at. They've been in the Detroit River for quite some time actually, but I want to see how the weight is when we get down there. I did a little work this week up in Anchor Bay, same thing, checking out some fringe areas. So today I'm going to make this trip. We're headed down towards Windmill Point, see what we can see. As you can see on our arrival at Windmill Point, the light east wind presented itself as an up-tempo northeast wind. The already stiff Detroit River current gets pushed even faster, but I still had to check the spot out. I caught a couple, but this 1 2-pounder was not worth the effort, even with the flag waving in the background. Here's what the spot looked like 2 days later in a south-southwest wind, but the results were no better. One of my favorite Detroit River spots in the summer months is the flat at the old Garwood Mansion grounds. Smallies were caught on 2 trips there this week, but no size yet. We did discover a hot spot though, where Ken picked up a drum. This isn't a bad sign in river fishing. Here's what happened on a different pass. One of the combat bass fishing indicators is when you catch other species, multi-species in an area, there's smallmouth nearby. Ken just got that massive drum that you saw, and this is a really nice walleye, really happy with this, but these were in exactly the same area. So I'm pretty confident we got some big smallmouth nearby, and we're going to at least catch some, I think. And we're going to keep this area, probably shorten our drifts, keep going through this spot and see what we can find. Anyway, don't get discouraged. If you're catching multi-species, good chance the smallmouth are not far behind. 2 days later, same spot, same result. So what I'm going to have to do is get down there with the underwater camera, see what else I can learn, because I believe the smallmouth are down there. Try again. We made a pass at the U.S. facing side of Belle Isle all the way down to the pump house. If you love to catch largemouth and pike, it was great, but the only smallie we found was in the eddy behind the pump house. The Detroit River water temperature was 71 degrees. Then the day greatly improved. We moved up onto the flat and Windmill Point and found a never-ending school of aggressive smallmouth on some new growth cabbage in 2 to 4 feet of water. This is where Ken connects with a new personal best smallie on a swim jig at 3.98 pounds. Yes, we would all call that a 4, but I'm holding off on those 2 points to give Ken a chance to update his personal best yet again on the next trip. On this day, the east wind was our friend. The smallies were hyper-aggressive, slashing away at my #1 spinnerbait color from the side. I caught a couple of those and missed a bunch more. Adding a trailer hook would have made all the difference, but I don't always use those on a research day. It was game over after I switched to my second best Lake St. Clair spinnerbait color, white on white. More hookups and more action. 2 days later, I was able to find the same schools in an extended range. And while the white on white spinnerbait still worked, the size was down and the bite was not the same. I caught more on a buzzbait, but there was no upgrade in size. There were plenty of tournament quality bass in sight, but they were indifferent to anything else I threw at them. Key takeaway, 3 feet of water, isolated new growth cabbage, 73-degree water temp, fast action. Going to the mile roads would have produced more and bigger bass, but my combat bass fishing methodology is to track bass movements and to find new productive water. Bypassing the bay at Selfridge, I explored the outer edges of Anchor Bay. The only smallmouth seen but not caught were in the back ranges of this flat near Strawberry Island. Soon we'll be targeting the St. Clair River, but before you go, check out the St. Clair County no-wake map of the channels. The first map is for boats like our bass boats under 26 feet. Next, you can compare that with the no-wake map for boats 26 feet and up. Let's go back to the under 26-foot map for a moment. There are two key areas that are marked with no-wake buoys, but the map tells us we can run. The first I'd like to point out is at the end of the Sny. Personally, I respect the no-wake buoys here anyway because there are typically boats tied up along the seawalls. The rule on the map says Delta area island shorelines with weeds are not covered by the 600-foot wake law. You may run along the weeds. I'm interpreting that to mean we can run the weedy, far shoreline and stay over 200 feet away from the seawalls on the opposite shore. Since I don't want to waste my fishing time arguing the point with the authorities or getting disqualified in a tournament, I'm just going to no-wake it through there anyway, or take the shortcut to Anchor Bay before the no-wake zone starts. The second place at the Baltimore Highway presents a similar situation, until you get closer to Anchor Bay, where we have no choice but to slow down. Finally, I'm going to present you with a short piece of video and see who may know what it is. Let me know in the comments section below. Life sure is good when the bass are chasing. God bless and good fishing.